I am saddened because the realization that I live in a country where a gun has more rights than my uterus is something I just can't reconcile. Like many of you heard the news today that the Roe v. Wade decision, which affords women with federal rights to an abortion, was overturned. What struck me more than the decision itself was having to tell my 15-year-old daughter that this decision even happened today. Her first remark to me was, wow, this just set us back 50 years. And she's right. And from everything that I've read and all of the pundits that I've listened to today, this could potentially be foreshadowing some other rights and freedoms that we enjoy could potentially be revoked, including LGBTQ plus rights, including contraception. Regardless of what side of this issue you sit on, regardless of what your ideologies are, regardless of where your politics lean, I implore you to consider this. Female reproductive rights and the reproductive rights of people who have a uterus and can bear children is a human rights concern. By revoking Roe v. Wade, some of the most vulnerable women, women of color, poor women, are now placed in a precarious position where they have to cross state lines to be able to get the care that they need and deserve. Not all of them can do that. Last week, I had the privilege of sitting on a panel where I was discussing diversity in communications and marketing with others in my industry. It was such a proud moment for me because I finally felt like people are listening. People are joining this conversation. They understand the importance of diversity. They understand the importance of equity. They understand the importance of inclusion, of respect, of belonging. And a week later, this is our reality. In my closing remarks during that panel, I mentioned as sage advice, if you will, that people should speak up, whether or not their voice shakes, whether or not they share a popular opinion, because more often than not, the person who's speaking up is voicing an unpopular opinion, whether or not they look like everyone else in the room, whether or not they are younger, older, or the only person of that gender, or any other aspect or identifying characteristic. Speak up. Speak up for the people who aren't in that room and don't have a voice around that table. Speak up because you understand what it means to represent an underserved or marginalized population. Representation matters. When you don't have representation, you get things like H&M's campaign that included that coolest monkey in the jungle shirt, or Gucci blackface, or an overturning of Roe v. Wade. When you have people in a room or around a table discussing a topic and they don't represent a vast array or a diverse amount of viewpoints, that view becomes narrow and skewed. My face is puffy and my eyes look a little glassy because I've been crying on and off. I've been reading people's posts, the outpouring of concern and frustration and fear in some cases of what this will mean for so many people. And the people that this is going to affect the most are largely women of color and poor women. So I say this, if you can hear this message and you are traveling to the Northeast, and I live in New York, if you are traveling to the Northeast from one of these states, or in the future, a state that may no longer have a right to a legal and safe abortion, DM me, email me, call me, comment on this post. I will provide you with a place to stay. I got room in my house because no woman or person with a uterus should be denied this basic human right to decide what she or they want to do with their body. I am saddened because the realization that I live in a country where a gun has more rights than my uterus is something I just can't reconcile. And the fact that I could potentially be leaving this world and my daughter will not have the same rights and protections that I had as a woman in her childbearing years is disappointing, sickening, and just plain sad. People, I urge you, donate to organizations and causes that are here to help people who are affected by this decision. Volunteer your time, your energy, your space, your home to provide opportunities for women and people who have uteruses who will need your help during this time. And last but certainly not least, vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because mine does, and so does my daughter's.